Hey guys, rapid games include fewer tactical complications, but you still need to know right positions and proper lines to succeed. Unlike slow games, only one mistake can lose, so I will show you which route you should take in order to avoid risks. So we are starting from this basic position. One option is to push this pawn to 5-4, but then this bishop will come out to annoy your rook like this, and you need to move back with it. Then bishop comes down to 7-9. Then you would open up the diagonal to harass this lance, right? But he will defend just like that. Also opens up this diagonal at the same time. And this is already too late because you can't avoid the bishop exchange really, or at least pawn exchange. Then he will threaten taking this pawn first if you defend, and this pawn push. Now breaking through the second file is not avoidable, so you are in trouble. This was possible because you pushed this pawn too soon. The second option is silver to 4-3. I'm not gonna say this is all bad, but you need to be really prepared. This type of attack is okay because you can just take it, and after silver develops, use silver develops to protect the pawn. He would still keep going, but this pawn push is so strong after the bishop trade. Silver trade will happen, but then you can drop the bishop right here, forking the rook and the lance. So white is better. But this is not gonna happen. Instead, you will prepare for this pawn push. He wants to push this pawn one move further to offer bishop exchange, and once it happens, you will probably lose. So in order to avoid this pawn push, silver to 5-4 is needed, and this is a point of no return. And once you step into this position, you need to keep going, but it's going to be chaotic, and really good accuracy is required because for offense, fewer pieces are involved than usual, right? So I don't really recommend this. So from this position, in order to develop this silver, you can just wait by lance to 1-2. This is actually a part of Joseki and a great waiting move, really. If he waits as well like this, then you can push this pawn. This time, this diagonal is blocked, right? So bishop exchange like this won't happen. And actually, this is the ideal shape for white because you don't really want to block this square just to prepare for a future bishop drop. If this square is open, you have so many options, and since your silver still stays here, pawn to 4-6 is not a good idea to do. So this is a really good position for white. And for black, his pieces are fully mobilized, and he actually cannot stay anymore, not to show any sign, right? So he has to play either pawn to 4-6, silver to 3-7, whatever. Then you can just play accordingly. But since this video is about rapid attack, we're gonna talk about pawn to 3-5 in this position. This once was really popular in professional world as well, since professional players were playing this lines. That means you need to know this one as well, because if you don't know what's going to happen, you will be in trouble. And you can take this pawn and silver develops. And this pawn push is cool because it's gonna slow down Black's movement if he tries to take this pawn. So instead, he will keep going. And you can open up this diagonal. He has to accept the bishop trade. Silver recaptures. And obviously, he wants to break this second file, right? So he would push this pawn. You take it. And there are two main options for Black. One is bishop to 8-8. Then you can drop bishop on 6-4 to harass his rook. If he tries to defend by pawn to 5-5, then you can relocate your rook to 2-2. So this aims to push this pawn all the way up here. So in order to avoid that, he would take preemptive action like this to shift his focus on the third file, and he wants to take this pawn. And in order to avoid it, this is a cool one to reinforce this square. If he takes it, then you can kick the silver. He has to move back. Then again, you can kick the silver. Then you can try to trap his rook. He would reopen up this diagonal, but that's okay because knight to 3-3 is a cool move. Then next, silver to 3-5, then pawn to 2-6 will be so strong. Okay, let's go back to the mainstream. And instead of bishop drop, he would take this pawn. It seems better to recapture the silver, and after he recaptures it, this bishop drop happened. And most people would stop thinking after this bishop drop because it seems so skillful, and obviously white is in a better shape, right? But it's actually not true, because after this promotion you would promote after this promotion you would offer rook trade, right? He accepts it, bishop recaptures. Then this drop is cool. Actually, white is in a trouble here because this bishop isn't working, right? So you would drop your rook instead. Then he can drop his rook as well. If you keep going, then this is where this knight drop really works. Knight to 7-4, checking your king. If the king runs, he will sacrifice his rook, taking this goal. Then there will be a mate. If you take it, then he can take this bishop. If you recapture, then fork drop is great. This is the end. The game is over actually. So you really need to avoid this. So other way back to this position, you don't want to take this silver, and instead silver to 3-4 is better. This time it's going to be a little different. If he keeps moving, then you can use this pawns. You can strike his rook first. He takes it, then strike it once again. If he takes it, then you can drop bishop right here, forking the lance and the rook. If he runs, then you can take the silver. He recaptures, promoting it. Then you can offer rook trade. This time your knight is still here, right? So if he wants to drop his rook, that's gonna be somewhere else. And he doesn't have a knight, so in order to block this diagonal, he would drop this silver instead, right here. Then you get to drop your rook first. Again, he doesn't have knight this time, so this tactic won't happen. Then taking these pieces is guaranteed, and there are fewer squares in your camp for piece drop, so white is clearly better. Alright, that's all for this video. I hope you like this one. The strategy is pretty classic, and this was popular more than 20 years ago. But just because it's old-fashioned, that doesn't mean it won't work anymore. However, keeping these ideas in mind, you don't have to worry about nasty surprises anymore, and you can officially start studying or whatever trends you want. And as always, thanks for watching, and see you all guys next time. Bye.